Hi everyone. So today we are going to review a little bit of what we did last week, which we talked about Cubism and Cubist artwork. And this is what we're going to do. And I'm going to move the computer up in a little bit so you can see it better. But it is a type of artwork that has lots of angles and points on it. And if you can see, my tree, that's what it is a fall tree, has lots and lots of sharp points to it. So does my cat and my bird. So I'm going to move the computer closer and then we're going to start drawing ours. And what you need is paper and markers or crayons, okay? Um, I'll show you this and then I'm going to erase it. I'm a little bit irritated right now because I made the video and it didn't save, so I'm very frustrated. But at least it gives you a good idea of what it's going to look like when we're done, okay? And I still didn't even quite finish mine because I didn't finish coloring on all the fall leaves. All right, so here's what it's going to look like. Oops. There, that's better. I'm going to have your colors, your tree, your cat, and your bird. All right, let me erase that and start all over. All righty. So I have my black marker. I have my whiteboard to draw on. Hopefully you have your paper. And you need some colorful crayons or markers to draw your colorful leaves with. Now we are doing fall leaves because right now it is fall. Depending on when you're watching this, it might be winter, I'm not sure. But what we need to do to start with is we are going to draw a rectangle. And then you can color it in black or brown. And remember, if I get ahead of you or if I am slower than you, you can always pause it or skip ahead. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to draw some lines coming out from our tree and going all the way to the edge of our paper. Almost like if you've ever drawn the rays of the sun. All right, so there's my lines. Now what we have to do is add our branches. Now they're not going to be like typical branches. They're going to have sharp edges. So instead of curving, they're going to be a point. And they're going to meet up like this, like an angle. Okay? So I may do a few that come down here below this branch. And then I'm just going to crisscross my tree branches, okay? They could go off the paper. They could make triangles. They could make squares or rectangles. All right. You can do as many as you want to, but the more you put on here, the more you have to color, okay? Just fine. If you want a colorful tree, you add all the branches that you want, okay? All right, I'm drawing my branches. And remember, you can pause it or fast forward. But all of your sections should have branches going through it, okay? All right, now I'm going to start getting my colors that I need. And if it's fall, what colors would I be seeing in the leaves? I might be seeing some red or yellow or even greens and oranges. So I'm going to get a few of those colors. You could even throw in some blues and purples just because sometimes you can see through the branches of the tree to see a little bit of the sky. So I'm going to start with my dark green, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in one section at a time. Now I'm going to color it really nicely, and I'm going to try and not go outside of those lines, okay? So each section should be a different color. Now if you look at my picture, I have probably over 100 different shapes now, okay? I do not have 100 different fall colors, at least not in my markers. So I'm going to have to repeat my colors. All right, I'm going to have more than one shade with dark green in it. So I'm going around and I'm coloring in a few that dark green. Now I'm not repeating dark green right next to each other. Okay, so if I have dark green here, I can't have dark green here or dark green here. Okay, so I finished with my dark green for right now. I'm going to get my red. Now red could go next to my green. And the reason that I'm putting it next to it is that green and red are what we call complementary colors. That means they are opposite of each other on the color wheel, and they complement each other because they're opposites. Okay, so they stand out. They look really bright next to each other. Other complementary colors are purple and yellow, and blue and orange. So if you've ever seen those colors together, you're like, wow, that is so bright. It's because they complement each other. So I finished my blue, or I'm sorry, I finished my red, and now I'm going to use some blue. All right. So that is what you're going to do throughout the whole tree. You're going to pick different colors and color in those sections different colors, okay? Now I'm going to stop here after I finish my blue. I still haven't used my orange or my yellow or my light green, but I'm going to start there because you know how to finish your tree. You're going to finish coloring it in. And now I'm going to work on drawing my cat and my bird. Now, I'm going to draw them very large so you can see them, or hopefully you can see them, but your cat and your bird do not have to be this big. So for my cat, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a line going down, and then I have to make his ears. So I have to do a line here, a line straight across, and then I'm doing the same thing on the other side. I'm going up to make a point and coming down. Okay, now that's a big cat. Most cats are not bigger than a tree trunk, right? So he needs his eyes. So 2 circles or 2 dots. He needs a triangle nose. He needs his mouth. And he needs some whiskers coming out of his nose. Okay, he also needs a tail. And then for that, we're done with the cat unless you want to color it in, but we have to make the bird. So the bird is going to be a triangle, so you're going to do a line coming down, a line for its belly, and then you're going to join up those 2 lines. All right. Now he needs 2 feet, so I'm going to do 1 line and 2 lines. And then I'm going to do a little line at the bottom so it looks like he has a foot to stand on. All right. I'm going to do a little line for his beak. And again, I'll move this closer so you can see it. He needs a dot for his eye, a curve for his wing, and 3 tail feathers. All right, I'm going to move you closer. Now, your job after you finish that is to finish coloring your picture. You can color in the bird, you can color in the cat. You need to finish coloring in the